Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Rasan427, and actually today what we're actually going to be doing is discussing the new WWE Elite figures that actually just released and actually just came out. They actually gave us a brand new photos of all the new releases that actually coming out. There's Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, and WrestleMania, all their Elite figures and everything like that. You see, I already have Pat McAfee up on the screen, so I actually be jumping right into it. And if you get into this first wave, this is actually the WrestleMania 40 wave, which I think is a decent wave. You know, it's not a lot of figures I'm actually going to be picking up. And first starting out with this Pat McAfee figure, I think it's fine just for a Pat McAfee figure. And if you like Pat McAfee, I think the arms are maybe a little too big, but I understand what they were going for. And you see it has really cool detail because it actually has the ripped up jeans right there. I think the shoes are on point. Everything like that. I think it's very great with the cloth shirt and stuff like that. And I believe he actually had a basic before this, so I think that's really cool as well. But it's something that I'm really into. No, it's something I'm going to pick up. No, because I mean he's cool, but to have a figure of him I don't really need. To me personally, they actually have the Stone Cold Steve Austin chain. You get a switch out Michael the hands and fist the hands, and you get the builder figure, which actually Nicholas, which I'll get to once I get to the end of this wave. You see this the back of it, and this actually comes with his shirt, his undertop, and and that's really about it. It's just his torso and stuff like that. But I think this Pat McAfee is really cool. If you're a Pat McAfee fan, this is something that you're into, I can definitely see a lot of people picking this up. I do think this is cool for the wave. Now this is actually a re-release of, I believe it was like a Toys R Us or something like that exclusive. It's one of them older companies. I believe it got shut down. But this is something I'm definitely not into. If they had a different attire Ultra Stratus, I'll be more into this. But to have me wanting this, it's an absolute no for me. This is just a no for me personally. That's just my personal opinion. I believe this is WrestleMania 20. I want to say it's 22. I'll probably have to read the back. This is actually WrestleMania 27 one. That's why I definitely didn't remember this when she actually returned. I always forget that she actually returned and did that match with John Morrison and I believe Snooki, and it was versus Dolph Ziggler and Lay Cool. I believe that was the match. So yeah. So that's really cool. And it doesn't come with the women's championship because she actually didn't have it. I don't know why I thought this was WrestleMania 22 or 20. No, definitely not 21. I know she wore 21, but I thought this was WrestleMania 22. The Rock. Now, this one. And this is when we get into the bad of the reviews. Or not really bad, just inaccurate. Because I wouldn't say anything bad about this. It's super inaccurate. So this would make more sense if they gave us two head sculpts. Because when he won the WWE Championship, we had the WWE Championship. That was WrestleMania 29. But this is a WrestleMania 28 attire. And even though he got the attire wrong, The Rock never had two bulls on both sides of his trunks. He always had, basically, I believe, The Rock on the front and the bull on the back. But they got the bull on both sides. I don't understand it. And I don't understand why they gave us a championship difference. If they gave us another head sculpt, it would make a lot more sense. But this one, it's just completely inaccurate. And I wouldn't say, and you know, a lot of people saying the head sculpt was great. I think it's okay. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of the head sculpt. I definitely see why people would like this, but for me, pick it up. I mean, I just don't see a reason why. I mean, just the inaccuracies on the trunks, the fact that he comes with the championship anyway, it doesn't really make sense. So it just seemed like they put 2 in 1, but then why not give us another head sculpt to go with it to put the 2 in 1? But then you couldn't really put the 2 in 1 because I don't know if his trunks was the same from 28 to 29. I'll probably have to look at that. But this was something that I knew because I usually don't know it from like the start. I don't even know the inaccuracies from the start, but with this one, I knew it from the absolute beginning about the inaccuracies on this one. And yeah, so that's another part. Next, with this one, you actually come with another championship, basically. So if you pick up this Rock, and if you don't really care about the Nicholas, you actually get the one half of the Raw Tag Team Championship, which you can put with your Riddle, Randy Orton, or anything you want to. So you actually get 2 championships with this one, and Nicholas's head. And this one, I think, is the best one out of it. It's obvious. I mean, it's so easy to make these John Cena figures. I think they should just make all of them. I don't know why they don't just make all of them. Like, just literally run through all of them. I mean, it's just so easy to make. It's literally the same mold every single time. But this is actually his green attire. We debuted the attire at WrestleMania 28. We actually went against The Rock. And I think this is a fantastic one as well. I think this is great. And you see it has the You Can't See Me wristbands and these Cena approval over there. That's great as well. This is one of my favorites from him. This is the 2012 gear. We got it from WrestleMania to, I believe, October of that year before he switched to the pink gear. You get Nicholas's arms. You get same stuff: hat, shirt, dog tags. You Can't See Me hands. You get all stuff like that. I think this is fantastic. I think this is the best one. I think this is the one that you definitely should get right here. I think this is absolutely the one. And you actually get the complete Nicholas. Now, to me personally, I won't be completing this line. To be honest, a lot of the builder figures I don't really be caring for. Like, they be usually managers and stuff like that. I don't really care for that type of stuff. I can definitely see why people like this and stuff like that because I think this was a cool moment. Now, You definitely will need Braun Strowman to actually go with this. It will make a lot more sense. It would make a lot more sense for Braun Strowman to be in this wave, but that was at WrestleMania. They could have given us a Braun Strowman with the Raw Tag Team Championship. I didn't even think of that until now. That probably would have been a better idea to actually do that. But that was the WrestleMania 40 wave. I would definitely say Dirty Now was better because we got Dusty Rhodes, Rock, Hogan. I think this one is just okay. Just to me personally, I think the other one was actually better. And let's get into the Royal Rumble wave. Now, first starting off, this is actually Brock Lesnar. Now, with this Brock Lesnar, you actually get the Virgil Build-A-Figure. Now, this is actually from Royal Rumble 2022 when he actually won a very controversial one. It was a good Royal Rumble match overall, but I definitely see why people don't like it. Just the ending, way Shane McMahon did. I don't need to go into that. But I think this is really, really cool right here. You guys get Virgil's arms right there. But I think this is a really, really cool attire. I mean, if you got the Ultimate Edition, you really don't need this. To be honest, if you got the other one with kind of the steel steps, you don't need this. It's the exact same thing. It's not really, it's just not, it's not anything to do. Like, it's just, you get the same one. So, yeah. It's very interesting, but I definitely will say if you have the other ones, there's literally no point in picking up this. If you have the other ones, like it's literally no point. I think the Ultimate Edition is actually better. This Batista. Now I actually had a Ruthless Aggression wave. It's the same exact figure, same exact thing, just different trunks. I'll be actually picking this up because I want all that from Ruthless Aggression. I don't care if it's just a color change with the trunks, anything like that. Get the thumbs up, thumbs down hands. I think that's fantastic as well. Now this one actually comes with Virgil's. What is it? Virgil's pants? That's what actually this one actually comes with. I think it's fantastic. It's definitely a career-defining moment at Royal Rumble 2005. I would have wished they would have given us the John Cena from that time period. It would make more sense. They usually try to match it up a little bit with the times and stuff like that, because it's something I noticed that with these waves they usually put somebody against each other, which I don't think they actually did inside this wave right here. Because think about the WrestleMania one from last year, they put Rock and Hogan in it, and then the WrestleMania one from this year they put Cena and Rock in it. So it's make more sense for them to put John Cena inside this wave. Phoenix one. Let's get into the Beth Phoenix one. I think this is pretty cool. I believe this from Royal Rumble 2022. When she teamed up with Edge to go against Maurice and Miz, I believe. And it's interesting because Edge seems like he's leaving, so I don't know if she's still under contract with WWE or not. I don't know if she actually still is under, but I think this is a cool one. Just not for me personally, Now this one, Ridge Holland, this is interesting as well. And I think that he's probably the least favorite out of the Brawling Brutes. That's just from what I've seen, from other people. So I think this is a really cool figure. I believe this is from Royal Rumble 2022 as well. So they actually gave us 2 from Royal Rumble 2022, but they actually 3 from Royal Rumble 2022. And they usually don't do it all from the same event. Just from what I remember, what I know, they usually try to spread it out more. But this is all like modern stuff. They gave us 05 and then 3 from 2022. So that's very interesting. They actually did it that way. They usually don't. But actually, you get Virgil. I would never want a Virgil figure, me personally. I know they gave us 1 or maybe 2, 1 or 2 more Virgil figures from what I remember and what I know. I never want a Virgil figure. I have no interest inside of a Virgil figure. Just to me personally, I just don't have an interest. I know he gets made fun of a lot for like the signings and stuff like that or something like that. I don't really know, but I have no interest in anything involving Virgil. I know some people may like this just because I guess nostalgia and stuff, but me personally, nah. And let's jump into the Survivor Series wave right now. And this Survivor Series is actually really, really cool right here. First, you get Kevin Owens, which I believe is from 2021, when he actually did a 5-on-5 match. I believe this is is this the one where they swept him? I'm not sure if that's the year. I know it was one of the pandemic years where they actually swept. I believe this is the one that was in Brooklyn. I believe this is 2021, the one that was in Brooklyn. So I believe he's pretty sure he's on Team Raw and stuff like that. I think it's a really, really cool one. I mean, it's just I would much rather them give us a claw shirt because this shirt looks nothing like that. I mean, it's really not that good of a shirt. Just to me personally, I keep switching over. Just to me personally, the shirt on here looks way better than what it looks on here. I just wish they would update that. But I mean, it's pretty cool, but it's not a Kevin Owens I'll be looking out for. Not this one. Let's get into the one that I've been waiting for the longest time. I've been wanting this figure. And they haven't given it to us, which is interesting because this is like one of his most iconic moments. This is his last World Championship right here. And this is actually Shawn Michaels Survivor Series 2002, first ever Elimination Chamber. And I definitely think they got this pretty much on point accurate. They actually gave us a new mold for exit hair, which, I mean, You could, I mean, well, with some of the inaccuracies I've seen, they didn't really have to do this because some of the stuff I've seen, it's just been terrible. But with this, I'm so glad they actually did it, put it on point. The pants may be a little bit darker than this, but I'm not complaining about it. They got the logo right, which that's not the Shawn Michaels logo that ever really stayed. Like with the M like that and the S, you guys can see it on there. It's not anything that he stayed. He never really like. I don't know if he was going to move forward with like attires like this because he really only wore this one time. That's why this attire is so unique. That's why the hair is so unique because he actually cut his hair this time, but he grew it right back out. But he actually cut his hair this time. The iconic moment from MSG holding up the championship. I mean, it's just fantastic. One of my favorite moments. One of my favorite title wins. One of my favorite matches of all time. That's probably my favorite Elimination Chamber match of all time. I wish they would have given us the attire and everything like that, but they didn't. I'm fine with it just like this. I think we'll probably get another one of these probably soon, to be honest, just because I think that this could be like an ultimate edition and stuff like that. You give me a 2-pack of this and Triple H, maybe if they would give us Elimination Chamber one day, then they would give us the whole entire thing, the whole entire set, maybe one day. Like with maybe do a crowdfunding of like Triple H and Shawn Michaels just together. I doubt they would ever do all. I mean, I don't know how much they would cost. They get all 6 guys in it, which the only problem would be Jericho because they're not making Jericho figures right now, but that'll be something cool. Charlotte Flair really don't care. They don't care to pick up a figure her ever. Like, to be honest, I'm just not. I think she's great in the ring, but I'm just not a fan. I'm really just not. I think this is a cool figure. That's all I really got. This is 2021. I believe she fought Becky Lynch. She was the Raw Women's Champion. Oh, yeah, because that's when they switched the titles over because Becky had went to SmackDown. Or Becky went to – wait a minute. Becky went to Raw and Charlotte went to SmackDown. That's what happened. That's what I believe happened from my memory. This is Jerry the King Lawler. I think this is really, really cool. The only thing is you can't move him in it. So it's like if I sit him at that announce table desk, he's going to be like this. So it's like it's kind of no point. He's going to be like arms straight up. So you might as well take this off and just have him like that, which he has sit at the announce table like that. But it's be better like if they would do something better like the Cody jacket. But then do they really want to put that much money into a Jerry the King Lawler? Just like, I don't know if they would actually do all that. I think this is really, really cool for people who want that and actually completed. You actually get a British Bulldog right here. You guys get them all completed up. I think that's really, really cool. I actually will probably buy that just by stuff because growing up, I used to watch the Rock matches, the Triple H matches they actually had at that time. So that's something I'll probably pick up. But as far as completing this whole thing, I mean, Kevin Owens and Shawn Michaels is something I can see myself getting, but Jerry the King Lawler and Charlotte, probably not. So that's just is what it is. But let's move into the Ultimate Editions. This is where we get into the terrible stuff. Because I don't know who thought this torso. And it's crazy because they just released, they canceled the Macho Man. They just released a Randy Orton, right? You could have gave him that. And I know Randy Orton and Kurt Angle don't have the same body types. A lot of these people don't have the same body types. But it's like this, like you cannot say that this looks like Kurt Angle. Like if I was in the lab, or not lab, but if I was in the company and I seen them making this, like, no, you can't approve something like this. And they're just laziness because they use this for Batista, Rock, Cena, I believe. I might be wrong about the Cena, but I know Batista and Rock. They're using this for Lashley. But all three of those men, why they don't have the exact same body type, it's like, it's fine, you use it. Even the arms, I think, is too big. And it's crazy because you just see it. Where is it at? And I think that head sculpt is terrible right there. But you just look at this. This is not. He's just too big. Like the Eddie Guerrero makes more sense than this to me personally. And they use it for the Eddie too. So just like they're just being lazy and just using it instead of making a new mold or instead of just giving him a smaller mold. I would rather his body be too small than too big like this. I'm gonna be honest. I would rather him be too small like the Stone Cold. That Stone Cold edition is way too small. But I prefer that over this. And you look at it right here, like this doesn't look like the same person. This is way off. The Eddie Guerrero, I know it was too much, but it makes way more sense because Eddie was huge. But Kurt was never huge. He was always like just in shape, great size. But this, you just compare this right here, like this doesn't even make sense. So it's just off to me. Now this Bianca Belair, I think looks absolutely fantastic. I think this is one of the great things about this right here. I think this attire is fantastic. I believe it's a Hell in a Cell 2022 from what I know and remember, I believe this is Hell in a Cell 2022 when she actually wore this, which I think is a fantastic attire. I believe she fought Bailey at that pay-per-view, if I'm wrong, I'm not mistaken. But she was actually a champion. I do not know why we're not getting the championship. I hate when they do that. They did a lot of that with Bret Hart. They did it with a new Undertaker figure where they didn't give us a championship. I do not know why they keep doing that, but that's just something that they just continuously do not give us a championship. Well, Ultimate Edition. It's supposed to be the Ultimate Edition. Now, this Bobby Lashley, I'm glad they gave us a championship. Now, this is something I'm mixed on. I don't know what this is supposed to be based on. It seems like an Iron Man type attire. A lot of people said McDonald's, but I think this is a fantastic one. I think the shirt is fantastic. Like, that's something I would actually buy in real life to actually have. But I think the shirt is great. But this is something I mean, if it goes on sale, I'll probably pick this up. But as far I have a Bobby Lashley in my collection. I got it for like super cheap. It was like a loose figure. But I think this is a really, really great one. This torso fits Bobby Lashley, even though it's not completely accurate. But this definitely fits Bobby Lashley way more. I mean, they have the same exact body. They literally have the same exact body for Bobby. And I would like to see the height difference too, because I know Bobby Lashley is taller than Kurt Angle. But they literally have the exact same body for Kurt Angle and Bobby Lashley. And that's absolutely ridiculous. It really is absolutely ridiculous. But at the end of it all, let's talk about the basics. I'm going to just go through this. You got Charlotte Flair. I'm not a basic person, but if they're making these updates, and there are some that I'm looking at, I'm just like, wow, I might have to pick those up. Because I was just going to stay away from basics. Top dollars, there's nothing for me to say. Undertaker. This one is really, really cool. I won't be picking this up. I love that head sculpt, though, but I won't be picking this up. And the one I'm mainly picking up is probably Hulk Hogan. I'm definitely going to add this to my Hulk Hogan collection. I think this is fantastic. I would love an elite of this. But since they're adding this new articulation, I'm definitely picking this up because I was just going to stay away from basics just period. I just was not into basics at all. And this is base series 1. I believe this is all 142. But I was going to stay away from basics. But since they added that in, I'm definitely going to be very, very selective. Like, it's going to be something that I really, really like because I'm just not into basics. Again, Honky Tonk Man, they're capitalizing on the Gunther thing because Honky Tonk Man has been in the news. I mean, before the Gunther breaking the streak, he really wasn't in the news. But this is capitalizing on that because people will want to pick it up because since he was the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion. And that was actually about it. That wraps this video up of me talking about all the elites, basics, figures, the least basic and Ultimate Edition figures that actually came out and actually is coming up inside the future. So I hope you enjoyed this video, my thoughts on everything. I actually talked about everything. I usually don't talk about every last thing, but this time I actually did. I mean, if there's way more reviews than that, I probably want to talk about everything, but this time I said, I want to talk about every last thing. I want to get my thoughts on every last thing. But I hope you enjoyed this. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about all of these figures? Inside the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.